the knife pressed against her throat. Cold steel, warm breath on her neck. You really thought you could leave me, Imani? His voice was calm, too calm. That was when she knew the man she'd fallen in love with never existed. The paralyzed, broken soul she had cared for, a lie. The gentle hands she had held, they were now wrapped around her son's future. And the worst part, she had walked into this trap willingly. If you want to know how a single mother from Tanzania became trapped by a Korean Mafia boss just to own her, you need to hear this from the beginning. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what happens next will make you question everyone you trust. 3 months earlier, in Seoul, she stood outside the cleaning company office, hands shaking, holding a termination letter. Effective immediately. That was all it said. No explanation. No severance. Nothing. Her supervisor hadn't even looked at her. Just pushed the letter across the desk like she was disposable. And she was. In a city like Seoul, a single African mother with broken Korean and no degree was invisible. She walked 40 minutes back to her small apartment in Dae-hyun because she couldn't afford the subway. Her 6-year-old son, Daniel, was waiting. Mama, did you bring food? She forced a smile. Not yet, baby. But soon. Soon. A word that was becoming another lie. Rent. Overdue. Hospital bill. Overdue. Electricity. Final notice. 9 days before they'd be on the street. That night, unable to sleep, she scrolled through job sites, Facebook groups, anything. Then she saw it. A post in a private expat group. Urgent. Live-in caregiver needed. 3,000,001 per month. Immediate start. Must speak basic English. Must be discreet. Something felt off. Why so much money? Why discreet? But then Daniel's wet, rattling cough filled the room. She hit send. The reply came in 2 minutes. Interview tomorrow. 10 a.m. Come alone. The address led her to the kind of Gangnam where buildings had no visible numbers and gates required codes. A voice through the intercom confirmed her name, then buzzed her in. The estate was larger than anything she had seen in her life. Marble, glass, and silence. A man in a black suit led her through long hallways until they reached a dimly lit room. Inside, a man in a wheelchair waited. Mid-30s. Sharp jaw. Dark eyes too still, too controlled. He gestured for her to sit. You're from Tanzania, he said. Yes. You have a son. Her chest tightened. Ow. I do my research. 6 years old. Asthma. Father absent. Her breath caught. Why do you need this job, Imani? I need to provide for my son. That's what everyone says. She swallowed. I'm 2 weeks from losing my apartment. My son needs medication I can't afford. I'm out of options. He nodded, as if approving her desperation. I need someone loyal. Someone who won't ask questions. I can do that. Can you bathe me? Yes. Feed me? Stay overnight? Handle complications? She hesitated. I have a son. Bring him. There's space. 3,000,001 per month, he continued. Paid weekly. Meals included. Separate quarters. Medical coverage. Medical coverage. She accepted. He smiled. A smile that never reached his eyes. The next day, she moved in. Daniel clung to her leg. Mama, this house is scary. It's just big, she whispered, though she wasn't sure she believed it. Their quarters were nicer than their entire Dae-hyun apartment. Dae-hyun, the man in the wheelchair, lived by a precise routine. Her job was simple. Make his life easier. At first, their interactions felt mechanical, clinical, but slowly he began to talk. Tell me about Tanzania, he said one morning. She told him about the beaches, the heat, the scent of grilled maize, about her mother's death, about Daniel's father who vanished. You deserve better, he said. You're not a burden, she replied gently. You don't know that. I do. You're kind. For a moment, something fragile flickered in his eyes. Then the gifts began. A top-brand inhaler for Daniel. Then refills. New school uniform. Shoes. A tablet. You don't have to do this, she told him. I know, he said simply. Let me take care of you. One night, she heard him shouting in his sleep. She rushed in. He was shaking, drenched in sweat, gripped by terror. She knelt beside him. You're safe. He looked at her with raw vulnerability. I keep dreaming about the attack, he whispered. The pain. The moment I realized I'd never walk again. Her heart softened. Without thinking, she wrapped her arms around him. He froze, then slowly held her in return. You're the only good thing in my life, Imani, he murmured. She should have pulled away. She didn't. 2 months in, Imani couldn't tell where the job ended and something else began. Dae-hyun started requesting her specifically for everything. Not the other staff. Not the nurse who came twice a week. Just her. Imani, can you help me with this? Imani, stay a little longer tonight. Imani, read to me. Daniel noticed. Mama, why do you smile more now? She hadn't realized she had been. I'm just happy we're safe, baby. But that wasn't the full truth. The truth was darker. She was starting to feel something for Dae-hyun. Something she shouldn't feel. He was her employer. A man she barely knew. A man in a wheelchair who depended on her for survival. But he looked at her like she was more than a caregiver. Like she was everything. One Friday evening, Dae-hyun asked her to have dinner with him. Not as my caregiver, he clarified. As a friend. She hesitated. Daniel. The housekeeper will watch him. She's good with kids. She should have said no. Instead, she said okay. The dining room looked like something out of a movie. Candles, wine, soft music floating through the air. Imani felt underdressed in her simple blouse and jeans. You look beautiful, he told her as she sat down. She laughed nervously. You don't have to say that. I don't say things I don't mean. Dinner was quiet at first. Then he asked, do you ever think about going back? To Tanzania? Yes. Imani set her fork down. Sometimes. But there's nothing for me there anymore. My mother's gone. And my family, they didn't support my decision to come here. To keep Daniel. They wanted you to give him up. She nodded. That must have been hard, he murmured. It was. But he's mine. I'd choose him over anything. Dae-hyun smiled softly. That's why I trust you. What do you mean? Because you fight for what you love. You don't give up. He reached across the table and placed his hand over hers. I haven't felt this alive in years, Imani. Her heart pounded. Dae-hyun, I know this is complicated. I know I'm not whole. But when you're here, I forget that. She should have pulled her hand away. She didn't. Because Parker felt it too. The kiss happened 2 weeks later. She was massaging his legs during his physical therapy session. He had been unusually quiet all day. Are you okay? She asked. I've been thinking, he said. About you. She froze. Dae-hyun, I know I shouldn't. I know this crosses a line. But I can't stop. He looked at her with an intensity that made her breath catch. You've given me something I thought I lost forever. Hope. You're just lonely. No, his voice was firm. I've been lonely for years. This is different. You are different. He reached up and cupped her face gently. Tell me to stop, and I will. She should have. But instead, she leaned in. Their lips met, soft, hesitant, then deeper. When they pulled apart, she was shaking. This is wrong, she whispered. Why? Because you're my employer. Because you're vulnerable. Because you feel it too. And it scares you. He was right. It terrified her. Daniel had mostly avoided Dae-hyun. He'd go to school, come back, and stay in their quarters. But one afternoon, his ball rolled into the main living area where Dae-hyun was reading. Imani watched from the hallway as Daniel nervously approached. Excuse me, sir. My ball. Dae-hyun looked up, then smiled. A real smile. It's under the table. Go ahead. Daniel grabbed it, then paused. Why are you in that chair? Daniel. Imani rushed in. I'm so sorry. It's fine, Dae-hyun said. It's a fair question. He looked at Daniel. I got hurt. So now I use this to move around. Does it hurt? Sometimes. Daniel nodded seriously. My mama says you're nice. Warmth flickered in Dae-hyun's eyes. Your mama is very special. I know. She's the best. She is. After that, Daniel warmed up to him. He helped push the wheelchair, talked about school, showed him drawings. You're good with him, Imani told Dae-hyun one night. He's a good kid. You raised him well. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing him. You're not. He's loved. That's what matters. He reached for her hand. You're an incredible mother, Imani. Don't doubt that. Tears stung her eyes. No one had told her that in years. Things moved fast after that. They were officially together, though they kept it hidden from the staff. Dae-hyun was attentive, generous, loving. He had flowers delivered to her room. He asked about her day. He held her at night when she couldn't sleep. But slowly, things started to change. It was subtle at first. Why do you need to go out? He asked one day when she mentioned meeting a friend. I just need some air. Some time with friends. You have me. Isn't that enough? He said it with a smile, but the edge beneath it was sharp. Of course you're enough. But I'm sorry, he cut in, softening instantly. I'm being selfish. I just get anxious when you're gone. He kissed her hand, made her feel guilty for wanting space. She stopped asking. Then came the gifts for Daniel, expensive ones. You don't have to buy him all this, she said. I want to. He's part of you. It felt flattering, but also possessive. One morning, she noticed guards outside their quarters. Who are they? She asked. Security, he said. For what? For you. And Daniel. We don't need security. You do. His tone was final. I've made enemies. But that's exactly why we shouldn't. It's not up for debate. Then he softened again. I can't lose you. The guards followed her everywhere. To the market. To Daniel's school. Even on a simple walk. It feels like I'm being watched, she said. You're being protected, he insisted. There's a difference. Was there? The jealousy came next. After she ended a phone call with a male friend, she noticed Dae-hyun's eyes were cold. Who was that? A friend. Just checking in. A male friend. Yes, but do you talk to him often? Sometimes. What? His jaw clenched. I don't like it. You don't like me having friends? I don't like you talking to other men. She laughed, assuming he was joking. He wasn't. Men are never just friends, Imani. That's ridiculous. You're beautiful. Kind. Any man would want you. But I'm with you. Then act like it. The room chilled. What does that mean? She asked quietly. He sighed, rubbing his face. I'm sorry. I can't stand the thought of losing you. He pulled her close. You're all I have, Imani. Please don't make me feel like I'm not enough. She ended up apologizing. That night, she deleted her friend's number. Not because she wanted to, because she knew Dae-hyun was watching. Late one night, she heard footsteps above her. The guards were supposed to be outside. Dae-hyun was in his downstairs room. Who was walking? She checked, but saw nothing. The next morning, the housekeeper looked nervous when Imani asked if someone had been upstairs. I don't think so. Don't think so. Or don't know. I went home early. I'm sorry. Imani felt a chill crawl through her. Something was wrong. During Dae-hyun's next therapy session, the physical therapist, Dr. Min, examined his legs. Any improvement? Dae-hyun asked. Muscle tone is surprisingly good, Dr. Min said slowly. He shot Imani a quick glance before looking away. After the session, she pulled him aside. Doctor, can I ask you something? He hesitated. Of course. Is there any chance he could recover? Even partially. Dr. Min looked around, then leaned in. Miss Imani, his muscle tone and reflexes aren't consistent with full paralysis. Her blood ran cold. What are you saying? I'm saying, I can't be sure, but something doesn't add up. He left quickly. Imani stood frozen. Not consistent with full paralysis. What did that mean? That night, she confronted him. Dae-hyun, I need to ask you something. Anything. Dr. Min said your muscle tone is unusual for someone who's paralyzed. His expression didn't change. He said that. Yes. And you believe him over me? I'm not saying that. You are. His voice sharpened. You're questioning me. I just want to understand. What's there to understand? I can't walk. I can't feel my legs. Isn't that obvious? He looked hurt. Wounded. After everything I've done for you. For Daniel. You think I'm lying? No, Get out. Dae-hyun. I said get out. She left, shaking. An hour later, he called her back, crying. I'm sorry, he whispered. I hate feeling broken. And when you questioned me, it felt like you saw me that way too. Imani knelt beside him. I don't see you as broken. Then trust me. Please. She kissed his forehead. I trust you. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted. The doubt never left her. It sat in Imani's chest like a stone, heavy and cold. But she pushed it down. Because Dae-hyun was good to her. Because Daniel was thriving. Because for the first time in years, she had stability. She told herself she was being paranoid. That Dr. Min was wrong. That she was letting fear ruin something good. But the signs kept coming. A woman from the Tanzanian community reached out. Grace, who ran a small cafe and needed morning help. It's part-time, Grace said over the phone. Good pay. You be around people who speak Swahili again. Imani's chest ached at the thought. She missed her language. Her culture. I'd love to, she said. That evening, she mentioned it to Dae-hyun. A job, he repeated sharply. Part-time. Just mornings. It won't interfere. You already have a job. I know, but what? His tone cut through her. I'm not enough. The money isn't enough. It's not about the money. Then what is it about? She hesitated. I need something that's mine. He stared at her long and hard, then smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Of course. If that's what you want. Really? She asked cautiously. Really? But the next day Grace called, frantic and apologetic. Imani, I'm so sorry. I can't hire anyone right now. What? But yesterday. I'm sorry. I have to go. She hung up. A few days later, Imani saw her at the market. Grace looked away, trying to escape. Grace! Imani called. Grace stopped, but didn't turn around. What happened? Why did you? Please don't ask me that. Grace whispered. What do you mean? She finally faced her, fear in her eyes. Just stay away from me, Imani. For your own good. She walked off quickly. Imani felt sick. Her phone started acting strange. Messages disappeared. Calls wouldn't go through. I think my phone is broken, she told Dae-hyun. Let me get you a new one, he said immediately. You don't have to. I insist. The new phone was expensive, sleek, and wrong. Apps open on their own. The battery drained too fast. Sometimes she heard an echo, like someone else was on the line. She tried to convince herself she was imagining things, but she wasn't. One evening, Daniel asked her something that froze her blood. Mama, why does Mr. Khan watch us at night? Her heart stuttered. What? When I wake up to pee, sometimes I see him in the hallway. Just standing. By our door. Standing. Daniel nodded. But when I look again, he's gone. Baby, Mr. Khan can't stand. He's in a wheelchair. I know. But I saw him, Mama. You were probably dreaming. I wasn't. She pulled him close, whispering. Okay, I believe you. But she didn't know if she did, or if she was too afraid to. At 2 a.m. one night, she woke to a soft thud downstairs. Then footsteps. Slow, deliberate ones. Coming from Dae-hyun's room. She crept to the hallway, heart pounding, and followed the sound. Turning the corner, she saw him. Dae-hyun. Standing. Walking toward a window. No wheelchair. No struggle. Walking effortlessly. Imani gasped. He turned. Their eyes met. The mask slipped, just for a moment, revealing the truth. Then he collapsed dramatically. Imani. Help. I don't know what happened. She rushed to him, confused and terrified. You stood. You walked. Did I? He murmured, feigning shock. I don't remember. I just felt something. She tried to convince herself it was a miracle. But something about the way he walked, too smooth, too practiced, gnawed at her. The next day, when he was resting, she did the one thing he'd forbidden. She went into his office. The master key she'd found months ago opened the locked door. Inside, everything was pristine, and the computer was still on. She clicked through files, financial documents, strange names, business logs. Then she saw a folder labeled security, residence footage. Her heart hammered. She opened a file from 2 weeks earlier. A hallway at 3:47 a.m. Empty. Then Dae-hyun appeared, walking, stopping outside her door, watching. For 5 minutes. She opened more files, more footage, more nights, more lies. Months of him wandering the house freely, visiting her door, standing outside Daniel's room. She felt nauseous. She copied everything onto a USB drive. When she turned to leave, looking for something, Dae-hyun stood in the doorway, not in his wheelchair, standing casually, arms folded, like the truth had always been this obvious. Imani froze. Dae-hyun. He smiled softly. I wondered when you'd find out. You've been lying to me. He shrugged. Lying is harsh. I prefer strategic. You fake being paralyzed. You manipulated me. I protected you, he corrected. I gave you a life. I gave Daniel everything he needed. That wasn't love. It was control. It was both. He moved closer, and she backed in the desk. You don't understand, he said calmly. I needed someone pure. Someone loyal. Someone who wouldn't betray me like everyone else. So you trapped me. I gave you choices. You chose to stay. You studied me. You knew I was desperate. I saw an opportunity, and I took it. He reached to wipe a tear from her cheek. She slapped his hand away. His expression darkened. You're upset, he said softly. But you'll calm down. I'm leaving, she whispered. No, he said. You're not. He pulled out his phone, tapping something before showing her the screen. Daniel. At school. 2 of Dae-hyun's guards nearby. You wouldn't. I would do anything to keep you, he murmured. Anything. Imani collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Why are you doing this? Because I can't lose you, he said. And I won't. That night, she lay awake with Daniel beside her. The USB drive was hidden in her pillowcase. She retrieved the burner phone she'd hidden weeks earlier in Daniel's toy box. Her hand shook as she turned it on. She needed help. She remembered Detective Jun-young, the man who had visited months ago on a routine check. She dialed his number. The phone rang. And rang. Hello. Detective Jun-young? It's Imani. From Kong Dae-hyun's house. I remember. Are you okay? No, she whispered. I need help. Please, A hand clamped over her mouth. The phone ripped away. Dae-hyun dragged her out of the bed, out of the room, and slammed her against the hallway wall. You think you're clever? He hissed. You think I didn't know about that phone? Let me go. I've been watching you, Imani. Every move. Every breath. He leaned in, voice low and terrifying. You're mine. And you're going to remember that. He locked her in her room. Not with a key. With a biometric lock he installed overnight. Only his fingerprint could open it. This is for your own good, he said through the door. Until you calm down. Calm down. As if she were hysterical. As if she were the problem. Daniel was at school. Thank God. Imani pounded on the door until her fists were bruised. Let me out. Silence. She checked her phone, the one he gave her. No signal. He blocked it. She was completely cut off. Hours passed. She sat against the door, exhausted. Then she heard his voice. Imani. She didn't respond. I know you're angry. I understand. You understand nothing, she said. I understand more than you think. He paused. I was betrayed once. By someone I loved. Someone I trusted completely. I don't care. My brother, he continued. He tried to kill me. Took over half my business. Left me for dead. Silence followed. That attack I told you about. It was him. My own blood. She heard him slide down to sit on the other side of the door. After that, I couldn't trust anyone. I built walls. Pushed everyone away. So you decided to trap someone instead? She whispered. I decided to protect myself, he said quietly. And then you came. Pure. Honest. Real. You don't know me. I know you better than anyone ever has. His voice softened. I know you talk to Daniel in Swahili when you think no one's listening. I know you cry in the shower. I know you still wear the bracelet your mother gave you, even though it's falling apart. Her hand flew to her wrist instinctively. He knew everything. I didn't mean to fall for you, he said. But I did. And I can't let you go. This isn't love, Dae-hyun. This is obsession. Maybe. But it's all I have. Then footsteps. He walked away. Wait, she called. Daniel. When will he? He'll come home. As usual. But he won't see you like this. What does that mean? It means you'll smile. You'll act normal. You'll tuck him in. And you'll do it because if you don't, he didn't finish. He didn't need to. At 4 p.m., the door unlocked. Dae-hyun stood there, back in his wheelchair. Daniel's bus will arrive in 10 minutes. You're going to meet him at the door. You're going to be the mother he knows. And if I'm not, she asked. He leaned forward. Then I'll send him to boarding school. In Switzerland. You'll never see him again. Her blood ran cold. You wouldn't. Test me. She wanted to scream. To fight. To run. But she couldn't risk Daniel. So she did what he said. She went downstairs. Put on a smile. And when Daniel walked through the door, she hugged him like nothing was wrong. Mama, I got an A on my math test. That's amazing, baby. Dae-hyun watched from across the room, smiling, like they were a perfect family. That night, he insisted they eat dinner together. All 3 of them. Like a family, he said. Daniel was excited. Imani was dying inside. They sat at the table, Dae-hyun at the head, her and Daniel on either side. Daniel, how was school? He asked. Good. We learned about space today. They talked like everything was normal. At one point, Daniel looked at her. Mama, are you okay? You look sad. She forced a smile. Just tired, baby. Dae-hyun's eyes were on her, warning her. Later that night, after Daniel fell asleep, Dae-hyun summoned her to his room. He was sitting on his bed, not in the wheelchair, just sitting, like a normal man. Sit, he said, patting the space next to him. She stayed by the door. You're going to make this difficult, he sighed. You've taken everything from me. What else do you want? I want you to understand. Understand what? That you're insane. He stood, walking toward her. I'm not insane, Imani. I'm in love. Love doesn't cage people, doesn't it? He stopped inches from her. Your mother, didn't she keep you close? Protect you? Make decisions for you? That was different. Was it? Or is it only different because you're on the receiving end now? She slapped him. Hard. His head snapped to the side. A red mark bloomed on his cheek. Then he smiled. There she is. The fighter. He grabbed her wrist, pulled her close. You can hate me. You can fight me. But you will stay. I'd rather die. Then Daniel dies too. The words knocked the breath from her lungs. You're a monster. I'm a man who knows what he wants. And I want you. He released her. You have two choices. Accept this. Or lose everything. But she couldn't accept it. She wouldn't. So she planned. Quietly. Carefully. She studied the guards. Noted the shift changes at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. The less patrolled side door. The loose section of the back fence. 1 week later, she made her move. It was 5:55 a.m. Daniel was asleep. She woke him softly. Baby, we're going on an adventure. But you have to be very quiet. He nodded sleepily. She dressed him, grabbed a small bag, and crept downstairs with him. The main floor was empty. The side door was just ahead. She turned the handle. It didn't move. Locked. No. She tried again. Still locked. Going somewhere. She spun around. Dae-hyun stood at the top of the stairs. Fully dressed. Arms crossed. You really thought I wouldn't know? He asked calmly as he walked down. I know everything, Imani. When you sleep. When you wake. When you breathe. Daniel clutched her leg. Mama, I'm scared. It's okay, baby. It's not okay. Dae-hyun said coldly. Your mother just tried to steal you away. Guards appeared. They ripped Daniel from her arms as she screamed. Mama. Mama. Daniel. He was carried upstairs, crying for her. She collapsed, sobbing. Dae-hyun knelt beside her. You did this. Remember that. For 3 days, she didn't see Daniel. She was locked in her room. Federal. Given water. Ignored. By the 3rd day, her voice was gone from screaming. Her hands were raw from pounding the door. That night, Dae-hyun came in. He looked tired. Have you learned your lesson? He asked. Where's my son? Safe. Well fed. Watched. I want to see him. You will. When you prove you can be trusted. I hate you. I know. He sat on her bed. But you'll get over it. Never. He reached to touch her face. She flinched away. You're beautiful when you're defiant, he murmured. But it's exhausting, Imani. For both of us. Then let us go. I can't. Why? Because if I let you go, I have nothing. His voice cracked. You are the only thing that makes me feel human. Then find someone else. There is no one else, he snapped. Everyone else wants something from me. Everyone lies. But you cared for me when you thought I was broken. That was real. It was based on a lie. But your heart was real. He looked at her with something twisted and desperate. And I will do whatever it takes to keep you. Whatever it takes. 2 nights later, everything exploded. Literally. Gunshots echoed through the house. Shouting followed. Chaos. Imani bolted upright in bed. Another explosion. Smoke. She ran out and straight to Daniel's room. He was under the bed, terrified. Mama. I'm here. She pulled him out. An explosion rocked the house. They had to move. Now. She grabbed Daniel's hand and ran. Down the hall. Smoke everywhere. Bodies on the ground. She shielded Daniel's eyes. When they reached the upper landing, she saw the chaos below. Dae-hyun and his men were fighting. Savage. Efficient. Deadly. And Dae-hyun. He wasn't in a wheelchair. He was standing. Fighting like a man who'd never been paralyzed. Their eyes met. For one suspended moment, everything froze. Then he shouted, "Get them out. Now." But she didn't wait for anyone. She grabbed Daniel and ran toward the back of the house. The side door was blown open. They escaped. Into the night. Behind them, she heard Dae-hyun screaming, "Imani! Imani!" She didn't look back. She ran. And for the first time in months, she felt free. 3 months later in Busan, a coastal city far from Seoul, far from Dae-hyun, or so Imani hoped. She and Daniel lived in a tiny apartment in a crowded neighborhood. The kind of place where people minded their own business and asked no questions. Imani worked at a fish market. Early mornings, cash payments, no records. Daniel attended a local school under a different name. They were ghosts, and she wanted to keep it that way. But the fear never left. Every knock made her jump. Every stranger's glance felt like surveillance. Every night, she locked the door 3 times and pushed furniture against it. Daniel noticed. "Mama, why are you always scared?" he asked. "I'm not scared, baby. Just careful." But she was terrified because she knew the truth. Men like Dae-hyun didn't let go. The signs began small. First, a white orchid, his favorite, appeared on her windowsill. Her neighbor didn't know where it came from. She threw it away. 2 days later, another one appeared. Then a note followed. "You look beautiful even when you're hiding." Her blood ran cold. He had found them. She began sleeping with a knife under her pillow. One night, footsteps echoed outside her window. She peeked through the curtain to see a tall, still figure watching her building. When she blinked, he vanished. One evening, while walking home from the market, a woman grabbed her arm. Thin, exhausted looking, with dark circles under her eyes. "Please," she whispered. "Don't scream." "Who are you?" Imani asked. "My name is Hannah, and if you don't leave this city right now, he will destroy you." Imani froze. The woman continued, voice trembling. "I was you. 2 years ago." She dragged Imani into an alley. It spilled out. She had also been hired as a caregiver. She had fallen for him too, believed he was paralyzed, believed he was gentle. "How did you escape?" Imani whispered. "I didn't. He let me think I did. Then he hunted me for sport." Hannah lifted her shirt, revealing scars covering her torso. "He caught me, tortured me, said I betrayed him. Then how are you alive?" "I faked my death," she said. "Staged a car accident and had a friend identify another body as mine. Then I rebuilt everything. New name, new face." Only now did Imani notice. Hannah's features were reconstructed. The jawline, the nose, all surgically altered. "I've been hiding for 18 months, Hannah said quietly. "I only came out because I saw you at the market, and you had the same look I did." "What look?" Imani asked. "The look of someone being hunted." They sat in Hannah's car, parked in an abandoned lot. Hannah revealed everything. Dae-hyun, Kong Dae-hyun, was a high-ranking Mafia figure. Ruthless, wealthy, protected. "He's been doing this for years," she said, showing Imani photos. Different women, different backgrounds, but all looked like her. Foreign, vulnerable, alone. He targets single mothers. Women with no support. Women no one will look for, Hannah said quietly. "What happened to them?" Imani asked. Hannah closed the folder. "Some left. Some didn't." A chill passed through Imani. "He doesn't stop," Hannah whispered. "He doesn't stop until you're his, or you're dead." "What do I do?" Imani asked, voice shaking. "There's only one way to live, Imani," Hannah said. "What?" "You kill him first." Imani refused at first. She tried to find alternatives. The police, leaving Korea, but Hannah shut down each idea. Dae-hyun owned part of the police force. He had connections in 12 countries. There was no safe place. That night, sitting beside Daniel as he slept, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. A photo of Daniel outside his school. "He's growing so fast." Her heart stopped. Another message followed. "I miss you both. See you soon." Imani's fear turned into a burning rage. She called Hannah. "Tell me how." The planning began. They met secretly in different locations. Hannah taught Imani everything. Dae-hyun's routines, his safe houses, his guards. "His weakness is his ego," Hannah explained. "He believes you'll always come back." "So how do I use that?" Imani asked. "You make him think he's won." Hannah taught her how to fight, how to strike, how to kill quickly. "When the time comes," she said, handing her a knife, "don't hesitate." Imani sent Dae-hyun a message from an untraceable phone. "You win. I can't keep running. Let's meet. Just you and me. No guards." Hours later, he responded. "Where?" "Pier 9 warehouse. Midnight. I'll be there. Come alone. Anything for you, my love." At midnight, the warehouse loomed large and abandoned. Imani stood under a broken light, knife hidden in her jacket. Hannah waited outside in a car with the engine running. Footsteps echoed. Dae-hyun stepped from the shadows. No wheelchair, no facade. Just a Mafia boss, tall, dangerous, confident. He smiled warmly. The same smile that once comforted her and now sickened her. "I knew you'd come back," he said. "I'm tired of running." He studied her. "You look different." "I am. Fear makes people weak. I'm glad you've moved past it. Who said I moved past it? He tilted his head. Then why are you here? Because you threatened my son. He softened. I would never hurt Daniel. You already did. He dismissed her accusation. Children forget. You're a monster. I'm a man who knows what he wants. And I want you. Then take me, she said softly. He paused. What? You win. I'll come back. He stared at her. And then he laughed. You think I'm stupid? He said calmly. You think I don't know you're planning to kill me? He pulled out a gun. Casual, effortless. Imani froze. Take the knife out of your jacket, he ordered. She obeyed. He smiled. I had no intention of killing you, he said. But I'm disappointed. He stepped closer, voice trembling just slightly. I loved you. You cared for me when you thought I was broken. Your kindness was real. You trapped me. I protected you. You gave me a prison. Because you would have left. They all leave. My father, my brother, everyone. I couldn't lose you. Tears filled his eyes. Real tears, born of a twisted, obsessive devotion. He grabbed her wrist, gripping tightly. He tried to force her to leave with him, insisting he had arranged a new life for them. A new city, new identities. When she resisted, he grew desperate, violent. He twisted her wrist until she dropped the knife. When she refused to go with him, he attacked, strangling her, his hands closing around her throat. She clawed at his eyes, breaking free, and crawled for the knife. He grabbed her ankles. She kicked him off and reached it. She slashed his arm. Blood streamed. He stared at her in shock. You stabbed me, he murmured. You were killing me. I wasn't going to. Liar. She raised the knife, but he pulled the gun again and pointed it at her. His hand shook. He pleaded with her to stop, to drop the knife, to come back to him. She realized something in that moment. If she died, he'd have nothing left. He needed her alive far more than she needed him. So she charged him. The bullet hit nothing. They crashed to the ground, fighting violently. She slammed her head into him. He threw her into a support beam. She kneed him. He tackled her. She clawed him. He slammed her down. They knocked over crates. The gun skittered away. Blood splattered across the concrete. He reached the gun first. He aimed at her. I'm sorry, Imani, he whispered. But if I can't have you. A gunshot filled the warehouse. But the bullet wasn't from his weapon. Dae-hyun's eyes widened. He looked down at the blood spreading across his chest. Hannah stood at the doorway, holding her own gun. You should have killed me when you had the chance, she said. Dae-hyun collapsed but didn't die. He crawled toward Imani, gasping her name, reaching for her. You belong to me. Imani walked to him slowly. She picked up the knife. Kneeling beside him, she whispered, No, I never did. She plunged the knife into his chest. His hand fell. His eyes went still. Kong Dae-hyun was dead. The police arrived moments later. Hannah had called them. Detective Jun-young approached Imani gently. You're safe now, he told her, and you won't be charged. This was self-defense. We've been building a case against him for months. Imani broke down in relief. 2 weeks later, she stood at the airport with Daniel. Jun-young had offered help. Even more than help. But she wasn't ready. Not yet. Where will you go? He asked. Somewhere he never existed. He understood. They hugged, and she walked away. As the plane lifted into the sky, Daniel slept against her shoulder. Imani watched Seoul disappear beneath the clouds, a city that had given her hope, terror, and finally freedom. We're free, baby, she whispered. Finally free. The flight attendant asked if she needed anything. Imani smiled, a true, unburdened smile. No, I have everything I need. For the first time in over a year, she could breathe. If this story kept you on the edge of your seat, hit that like button right now. Subscribe so you never miss stories like this, real, raw, and unforgettable. And drop a comment. What would you have done in Imani's position? Would you have fought? Or would you have kept running? Because sometimes, the only way to survive is to stop being the prey and become the hunter. Thanks for watching. And remember, trust is earned, not given. Stay safe out there.